syndication exclusively at www.nostarradio.com. Now, it's time to exchange your views.
Welcome. This is the View Exchange, and I'm Ann. And today I want to talk a little bit about the bad situation in Florida. I mean, I have family members right now in Orlando, not too far from this. I've been down there for the last 3 years. I've had my granddaughter in Arnold Palmer's Children's Hospital there. I've had my daughter down there in the hospital. And it's just crazy in America right now. That's what I really want to say. I've been trying to get people to understand that things in America right now is just off the charts. And it's all well and good that people come together after a mass shooting or killing or some kind of real bad tragedy. But here's what I'm trying to get people to understand and to think about, and that is to do something before this happens. I mean, we keep doing the same thing over and over and over. We don't want to pray until something like this happens. Then we want everybody to pray and come together. We talk about racism and we don't want diversity until something like this happens. Then we want everybody to come together. And you know, they say the definition of crazy is when you keep doing the same thing over and over and want a different outcome. Well, I hate to say this, but you know, we've had a lot of this under President Obama's watch. And I know, he can't be held responsible for everything. But I think we need to step back and look at what's going on in the country since the Democrats have been in charge. I mean, we have thrown so many of our beliefs, our organizations. It seems like we have thrown so much in the trash to the wayside. It seems like we have beat up on the American people who don't believe everything that somebody else believe, and we want to shove stuff down people's throats. Just shove it down their throat, and sooner or later a person is going to vomit, and it's all going to come back up. And I'm going to give you a few examples. I mean, President Obama and the federal government did not have to go after the nuns, the little sisters of the poor who wanted to help poor people, simply because their faith, this is what I'm talking about shoving stuff down people's throats. They did not want to deal with the birth control situation. But the federal government and President Obama come in and they just going to shove this down these nuns' throat. It didn't matter about their religion. It didn't matter how they felt personally as human beings and their rights. I mean, it just feels like a lot of people in this country just keep feeling that stuff is being shoved down their throats, okay? And when you do that, you're going to have problems. I mean, it's okay if women want birth control. I've used birth control in the past, but I have paid for it my own self. I didn't require, I have 3 children and I have worked 2 jobs and I paid for that stuff like that myself. And I say, why is he doing this to those nuns? These young girls and these women can run up out here and get their nails done, pay to have their nails done, but they can't pay to get their own birth control and leave these nuns alone. And other situations. I know we're going to always have bigot and racists in this country. And we should all know that. And the President of the United States should know that. And he should not try to beat up one group of people all the time so that he can open up and give to the others. I mean, some people honestly and truly believe that the gay lifestyle is wrong. But they're not going to go out here and beat up on nobody or hang them from a tree or anything like that. They just want to live their lifestyle the way they want to live it. Really and truly, if you work hard, I can see why people can get upset and get angry. If you work hard all your life and you save, you put your house up for a loan and you get a loan and you open a business. And if you strongly believe that gay lifestyle is not clean, is not decent. I'm not saying one way or the other, but I'm saying some people do feel that way. These people should not have that business destroyed. I mean, there's another cake shop down the street. There's another floral shop down the street. And there's another dress designer down the street. I thought this country was about freedom. And if we're going to say this country is about freedom, if I don't agree with your sex life or your sexual preference, I should be able to say that and live my life and not have any part to do with yours. I mean, we've got to learn to respect people and their way of thinking and their way of living. As long as they're not out here beating up on other people or burning down other people's businesses or, hollering and screaming nasty remarks. I mean, it just makes common sense. We keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over. He comes out, he makes these speeches, which is well and good, but then you're going to go back and pass some other kind of law or some other kind of ruling that's going to step on somebody else's toes or make them feel irrelevant or disrespect them. And it just gets down in here and it starts building up. And sooner or later, they're going to throw it back up. That's all it is to it. That's just the way the world works. When we can help one group of people without really beating up or stepping on the toes of others, that to me is the way you bring people together. And I know. Hold up, people, hold up. Don't freak out and go absolutely crazy. A lot of you gonna run first thing and say, oh my God, that's the thing that, people said about the black race. Well, I want to stop you right there. Do not insult the black race. Do not insult the Native American race or any other minority race of people by putting them on the same page or the same level as somebody's sexual preference. That is an insult to the black race, the Native Americans, and to other minorities in this country by saying our struggles is the same. Because when a black person walk out the door, they are black. When a lesbian or a gay or a transgender walk out of their front door, nobody's not going to really know what their sexual preference is unless they're going to go out there and throw it in somebody's face. So don't even back up there on me about, it's the same struggle as the blacks or it's the same struggle as the Native Americans or other minorities in this country. Our race is a race of people. Transgender, lesbians, and gay, that is their sexual life. And it is very insulting, disrespectful to a race of people to bring their race down on the same level as somebody's sex life. That's all I'm saying. It's two different things. It is two different situations. I mean, it's just the way it is. Some people honestly believe that it's wrong, y'all, in their heart. They don't want to go out here and hurt nobody, but they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to feel like they are being stepped on or discounted or made to be a bunch of idiots simply because they don't feel the same way as gays or lesbian or transgenders. I mean, we're going to have to let people decide how they want to feel and how they want to react. And not start coming down on them and calling them names. And what I'm seeing out in the world, well, in the country, in the United States. I haven't been outside the United States. And I have no desire to go outside the United States. I love inside the United States. I can find anything I want inside the United States. Any kind of scenery, any kind of travel, any kind of beaches. So it doesn't interest me. Family members have gone overseas and even to Mexico. That's them. That's not me. But I feel you're going to constantly have this going on in this country because the pendulum has swung so far to the left. And they want to discount anybody who wants to believe in the Bible, anybody who thinks that the transgender life is wrong, the gay, the lesbian, bisexual. Some people honestly believe that is the wrong way to live. And I think we have got to learn to respect. You shouldn't have to, people shouldn't feel that they have to change. If you want to change, that's fine. But if you don't want to change and get in bed, so to speak, with somebody else's sexual lifestyle, there's a big difference in other things. Sexual lifestyle. You shouldn't have to in the United States of America. And I'm going to tell you, we have got a lot of nationalities in this country, and a lot of them bring their beliefs strongly into this country. There has been an incident in, I think it was Afghanistan, I think it was. Afghanistan or Pakistan, one of those countries, where the mother and the brother took and killed by beating and burning. The mother and it was her daughter and his sister, because she disrespected the family name by running off and marrying somebody that the family didn't approve of. And I guess, that's called the honor killings. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. But they can live with that. And we've had some of them here in the United States. But to think that you're going to change them people's mind, I don't care how many laws or how many rulings or how many papers are signed. This has been in these people's lives for generations and generations and generations and generations. And the thing to do would be to, just keep an eye on them and kind of make it known that this is not acceptable in this country. If you want to live that way, then you may have to think about stepping. And by stepping, I mean stepping outside of the United States. But to have them here and beat them up and beat them up and beat them down, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to end up with again and again and again. And it's all well and good to come together, and then we'll start praying, and then we'll start donating blood, and then we'll sing, let's stand together and hold hands. But that's after the fact, people. That's after 53 some people, 53 people, so they're reporting, have been been hurt, and 50 some has been killed. Okay, I want somebody to please stand up and tell me, what good is it going to do to hold hands and now we can pray to God? But what good is it going to do those 50 people have lost their lives? It will maybe make us feel good that we're coming together and we're going to do all this. But what good is it going to do them 50 people who've lost their lives? Whereas if we had done something before, like saying, you have a right to your beliefs. I'm not going to criticize you. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to cause you to lose your business. You don't have to go that route. I'm not going to take your business. Some of the politicians will get up and say, we're going to force you to close your business. Now tell me the honest to God's truth. An intelligent person is going to say that when you know that you've got a large group of people in this country who feels just like that cake shop owner or that florist or that dressmaker. That's insulting and disrespecting them. My view is, I would tell the people, come on, we don't need them to make your cake. Come on, let's go down the street. Tell your friends and family members if you don't want to, if you want to support us, just don't go there. Or something like that. And they can have other people to come in. They were already in business before, you came into their shop. I just am the kind of person, I do not, having lived with people shoving, excuse me, having lived with people, excuse me, I get really angry and upset because I know 50 people are dead and even more may die because people feel that they have been disrespected. Their beliefs have been disrespected. From what some people has reported, that his father had said that he was very upset for men hugging and kissing on each other in front of his son. And I'm not sure, I don't know if you can believe anything. This is what I heard on the major news media early this morning. And that's what I'm saying. Now, if somebody had said, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I know your background. I feel your pain. And if it's not right, if you feel it's not right, then it's not right for you and it's not right for your child. Sometimes people just need to be validated. You know, that they're not crazy, that they are not gay haters or whatever. They, maybe if he had just been validated, you know, you have your right to believe that that was wrong. And that was disrespectful doing that in front of your child out in the public. Maybe 50 people would not be dead and 53 people would not be hurt. That's all I'm saying. We in this country have gone so far left until I tell my family all the time, we are becoming like Hitler's Germany. And I believe that to a large degree because we are trying to make everybody walk down the same straight and narrow road. We are wanting people to spy on each other with the internet, and it's just crazy right now in this country. It is really just crazy. And the country is a mess. Because a lot of people believe that their family members have fought and died for this country so that they can be free to say, if that's what you wanted to say, I do not believe in the gay lifestyle. I don't want it around me. You should be able to say that in this country without being chastised, without being called all kind of crazy names. You're not out here beating up on nobody. You're not out here advocating killing nobody. You're just saying it's not for me. It's not for me. And while my children are young and under my care, I don't choose to put my children in that situation. I'm not saying gay or lesbian teachers can't be teaching, but if you've got a taxpayer who says, you know, I've raised my children strictly in the religion of the Bible, you should have a little leeway while that parent can opt out of that teacher's classroom and be put in another. Who is that going to hurt? Who is that going to hurt? To me, that's keeping the peace, that's validating those parents and saying you're right. In this country, you have rights, and this is your child, and you're in charge of that child. Who is that going to hurt? But to say to that parent, no, your child has got to go in that classroom and be taught by somebody whose lifestyle that you don't agree with. Because you go out here to the grocery store and that child's going to see her or his teacher, are they all hugged up with the same person of the same sex, hugging and kissing all over each other. Then that child comes back to you and say, what's all this? If you don't want to go through that, you shouldn't have to. That's all I'm saying. Give everybody a choice in this country. I mean, we have gotten so big in this country and we've gotten so many different nationalities. We're going to have to change our game plan, y'all. We're going to have to change our game plan. Because coming in after the fact and all this kumbaya and we're going to donate blood and we're going to hold hands and we're going to pray. Well, before incidents like this happen, they think Christians who are praying and they think you're lunatics. But now they want everybody to come together and stand and hold hands and pray. We want to pray. Well, if you're a Christian and you don't believe in the gay lifestyle and you're going strictly by the Bible, they're going to look at you as maybe being a hypocrite. Because before these tragedies happen, you're ready to say there's no place to bring religion in to say why you don't agree with the gay lifestyle, the lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual lifestyle. That's all I'm saying. If we don't change our game plan, and if the federal government does not stop trying to shove what it feels everybody should do down people's throats, we're going to have more of this. I mean, you say you respect women and you respect the Muslim belief in this country and you go down this road. But now hold up, wait a minute. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, you say you're gonna put men in the women and girls' bathrooms, and then in the same breath you say you respect Muslims and you respect Muslim women. Well, how can that be? In most strict Muslim religion, not in all, a woman cannot be seen or be around other men if it's not a relative. But then the federal government is going to tell her, if you are in the mall and you have to go tinkle or you have a diarrhea and you got to go to the bathroom, you have to go to that bathroom in there and undo your clothes with a strange man in the next little booth. So how can the government of this country say they respect everybody and they respect the Muslim religion and they respect the Muslim belief if you're going to put programs like that into effect? You see what I'm saying? They just seems to be over the top. They just seems to be over the top. And being over the top, you're going to always get people hurt. And in a lot of cases here recently, you're going to get people killed. And it's just because of the Democratic government in Washington right now wanting to please everybody so they can get the votes. And they're stepping on people's toes, they're disrespecting people, they're making them irrelevant, and it's just getting down in there, and it's just like a bad old stomachache or down in the gut. It's just boiling and boiling and boiling and boiling. And sooner or later they're going to throw it up. And when they throw it up, this is the situation that you have. 50 people dead, 53 hurt, and maybe some others may lose their life out of that 53. And I feel it could have been prevented by validating people who don't believe the way that you believe, who not calling them homophobics, who respecting their belief if they want to believe in the Bible, and just letting people live. In the United States of America, I thought we were just supposed to let people live. I mean, I am the kind of person, I'm a person of color. But if I know that a white restaurant does not want me coming in that restaurant, you can better believe I'm not going in that restaurant. I got good sense. I respect myself. I'm not going in that restaurant. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. Even in the grocery stores, if I am in the store and I know that there's a checker who don't want to deal with the black, I won't go in that line. Because if I go in that line, that's going to make her till have a lot of money in it at the end of the night. And I'm not going to help her to do that. I will gladly just stand and wait. You can always go through the U-scan. But if I have to stand and wait, I will stand and wait in somebody else's line. And they'll be saying, oh, this one's empty. I said, well, that's fine and good. I choose not to go in that line. And I think if the gays and lesbians and transgender and bisexual people want to calm the atmosphere in this country, you walk in, they says, I'm not into this kind of lifestyle. Thank you. Turn and walk out. I'll go down the street to the next cake baker and give them $400, $500, $600. Same thing with the flower shop. I think if we want people to show us respect, then or to show the LGBT community respect, we have got to learn to show respect to other people too, who don't believe the way you do. Do you really honestly at the end of the night want to go home and lay down knowing that you have caused somebody to lose their business simply because they didn't want to bake a cake for you? Or they didn't want to fix up a bouquet for you? Did you honestly want the government to come in and shut down their business that they worked hard to build simply because they don't agree with your sexual life? I mean, I've done this a million times. To me, it just makes common sense. Why do I want to give you money to help you move up the ladder in your businesses and become more financially able if you don't want to do it for me? Because they could do a crappy situation for you. They could even spit in the cake if they wanted to. You wouldn't know. I'm just saying, when you try to bully people and make people do something that they don't want to do, there's always kind of payback thing. I guess some of y'all never watched Roots, the first Roots. Because if you did, you wouldn't try to bully people and make them do stuff simply because they don't agree with your sexual life. They're not saying it they don't want to do it because you're white. They're not saying it because they don't want to do it because you're black. They're not saying they want to do it because you're Native American Indian or you're from India. Or they're just saying, I don't want to do it because I don't agree with your sexual lifestyle. And nobody in this country, if we stop and really, really think about it, should be forced to do anything to be involved in somebody else's sexual life. That's like telling Muslims, I'm going to come to your house for Sunday dinner and I'm going to bring a big old ham and you're going to sit there and eat it simply because I like ham. And I don't eat pork. I just don't really care for the taste of it. But that's what it is like for me. That's the way I see it. You cannot keep telling a group of people that you don't count, or that you are homophobics, or you're this, or you're Muslim haters, or you're this and you're that, and expect the country to come together. And when this comes from our government leaders, then this is what you're going to have. This is what you're going to have. More dead American people, more hurt American people. And in my view, for absolutely nothing, because we don't validate everybody. Validating the people who don't believe in the LGBT lifestyle is the same as validating those that do live that way. And until we learn to play fair and march down the center of the road, we're going to have dead Americans in this country. I mean, we're going to have dead America. Is that what America wants? Because it really makes me angry to see all of this coming together now, after people are dead. When we should be coming together before people get killed. I mean, sometimes just validating a person. You in America, you have that right. If you think that two men standing out in public hugging and kissing is not right, you have that right. You have that right to say you don't agree with it and you don't want your child to be around it and to see it. You have that right in America. But most people know that they're going to be beat up on if they voice their concerns about it or just their opinion about it. That's what I find is so wrong. I mean, we have got to be fair, America. We can't beat up on everybody simply because they don't like the gay and lifestyle life. I don't think it necessarily makes you a horrible, horrible person if you don't agree with it. It's just that the way you were raised, the Bible studies that you study. If you believe strongly in the Bible, and that's what you want to believe. I'm saying if that's what you want to believe, we in America all have that right. But the Democratic government right now is beating up on everybody that doesn't agree. And I'm telling you, this is what Hitler did. At first, Hitler just started out, on the Jews. And then he turned on his own people and had each other spying on each other and calling each other names and this, that, and the other. And if we don't watch out in America, we're going to be in that same situation. Because this is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. We are not doing anything to really try to say, okay, I validate you. You have a right to believe. Most people will turn and walk away and say, okay, I just want my point known. And no harm, no foul. But when the other side starts jumping on you and calling you a homophobic and you are this and you are that and you are racist and you are a gay hater, simply because of the way you feel inside, that's going to make you angry and it's going to make you want to strike out and strike back. Especially if they see the government is taking away your right to walk in a bathroom and not to be with men. Or if you don't want to bake a cake for a LGBT person, the government's going to come in and shut your business down. That's going to make you angry, and that's going to make you angry at that group. That's not doing anything to pull you together. That is just not going to work. They're going to talk about it amongst their friends and their church members who feel the way they do, and then you're going to have a group growing that's going to grow even stronger against the other side, the LGBT group, and then you're going to have them growing and being resentful towards the government. That is just crazy. That is just crazy. And I would just like to say, stop and think, America, and start validating people who don't believe what you believe, because in the United States of America, people have that right. And stop beating up on people who don't believe it. And stop the name calling of people. Most people who don't believe in that lifestyle, I very seldom hear them calling on the news, calling the other side any kind of very, very nasty, negative names. But I hear it all the time from like the Democrats and the major media. They're calling them homophobics, and they're calling them LGBT haters, and I don't understand it, because I've always felt so strongly that in this country you had a right to believe, to act, and live the way you want to, as long as it was not interfering with nobody else. Because in this country, we've got cake makers, and we've got flower shops, and we've got dressmakers, and we've got halls. You say thank you and walk on down to the next one. That's called bringing America together, in my view. This has just been my view, because I am tired of seeing people get shot down. Innocent people. I mean, I've got family right now in Orlando, and I'm tired of seeing innocent people get killed. There's people in Florida visiting. We don't really know if this was just a one-man operation yet. We don't know. All the big attractions there, we don't know if something may pop up again tomorrow. And it's all because people feel that they're not being validated, that it's the flip-flop. Now they feel they're being picked on by the government, by the LBG, and the government's back in the LGB. So they're mad at the LGBT, and they're mad at the government. And that's a formula for trouble. That's a formula for trouble. So what I want to see is people to start thinking that we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to let people come out, live. Like I say, if somebody is uncomfortable, don't want to do it, why would you want to beat somebody up and make them do something for you on such a happy occasion as a wedding or your anniversary you've been together? Why would you want that negativity around your event? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And in closing, I just want to say, please stop and think. There is always two sides, and people have feelings on both sides. Stop beating up on each other, okay? This has been the View Exchange. And as always, we will talk later.
The View Exchange, tune in weekly and listen in syndication exclusively at